5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Welcome to another episode of Let's Be Friends. That's what I've decided to call it. Unless we can think of a better name for this live show. I call it Let's Be Friends because it kind of breaks the ice. How much does a polar bear weigh? Just enough to break the ice. So we are here again. It was a sunny day. We're back to an overcast. I brought something to show and tell. Sorry, I'm not accepting any calls. They're going to have to leave a message. I can get back to them at my leisure. This is one of my collectibles. It was a hard to get. It's a commemorative War of 1918. So the First World War. It kind of looks like a trench knife. It looks like a knuckle duster. I think I've shown this before in one of my shorts. It looks like that trench knife that was used in the First World War. It's got a nice little window breaker, a handy pocket clip, and I like how it fits. I lost weight recently, or fairly recently, and my chubby fingers my fingers are no longer chubby, so they fit nicely. So I can have another one of my fidget toys, and it's an assisted opening, which is kind of fun. Liner lock, so it doesn't cut off my fingers. It's pretty fun to play with. It's a nice close quarters. Boone makes it. It's made by Wartech. I've had it for a while. There was a website called Wild Bill Wholesale. I don't know if it exists anymore. They sold a lot of cool stuff. You could buy these packets, like a box. It was a gift box that had all different kinds of weapons in it. That'd be nice to do. I should do some. People do reviews on certain items that they buy, or an unpacking video. I have a tripod. I could do an unpacking video. I gotta wait till I can afford to buy things. That's what I could do with my sponsors. If I can find sponsors, people to sponsor, I could buy things that are very cool online and then do unpacking videos. Those get quite a few views. People always want to see what someone got. I could sit right here and make sure no porch pirates come. So we are 4 minutes in. There's a chance I'll get some people to join. I notice my live streams are watched, but they're not watched by many people. So I need to find a way to get the word out. I have been making shorts that say when I start, but then I can't always commit to when I say. It used to be like 11 and 4, so this is around 4 o'clock, but in the UK it's around 8 o'clock. but there's a 5 hour difference. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 13, no, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2000, 1700. Yeah, 1700, I believe. That's 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's like 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But then it goes to 12 or 0 hour is midnight. Wait a minute. It shows it right here on my watch. My watch has military time. So 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 2000. So, anyways, there's metric, there's military time, there's us. We in the U.S. use standard, not metric. I think metric is catching on. Metric will be the universal measuring system. People are finally coming around when it comes to metric. Because when you're working on a foreign car, you gotta have you have to have metric tools so they fit perfectly. So I guess 7 minutes, maybe some will. I need to have another phone so that I can, or another computer while I'm sitting here. That way I can Google time zones so I can know when. I think 3 o'clock would be more fair. 3 o'clock would be better. 3, 4, 5. Let me look at my watch again. I can calculate correctly. 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be 7 o'clock, 1900. If I yeah, it would be 7 p.m. in the UK, which I think is better than 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock would be after supper, possibly. I usually finish supper around 7. So this is basically what happens. I sit and wait. I I wait for. Hi. Having a leisurely stroll in the evening. That's my neighbor across the street. She doesn't need an amplifier. Some people's voices are naturally loud. Some people have very booming voices. They're usually picked to be leaders. Leaders and bosses, coordinators. Somebody who has a very loud voice. So I'm just listening to. I like listening to how loud she is. How loud her voice is. It's like She's the kind of person when she's talking, everybody has to stop what they're doing because they're all hearing her voice. Stop doing the dishes and listen. You know what makes me laugh is when I'm playing my flute, they always say, "Do you play any other instruments?" It's it's like you're terrible at playing the flute. Can you play it? Do you have another instrument that you play? I'm playing the flute and I'm learning how to play the recorder, to where it's easier. It's getting easier for me to play the recorder, but I've noticed while I'm playing the recorder, I'll get a text that says, "Do you play any other instruments?" It's like a nice way of saying, "Do you play any other instruments?" That flute is, you're not good at that. At least not yet. I guess I'm getting better at harmonica. Flute and harmonica. And then there's that xylophone sounding instrument that I have. I think I'll play that on request. On request. One highlight of my life lately is the colonoscopy. They say when you're in your 40s, you should have a colonoscopy. I think once a year, and you have to prepare for a colonoscopy. And it doesn't sound like fun. You can't have solid foods. You have to drink a fluid. They give you this jug with a powder at the bottom, and you have to add water, and it's like a 2 liter jug that has a white powder in it. You're supposed to add water to this 2 liter jug to the fill line, and you're supposed to shake it up and drink 8 ounces, 8 ounces of this liquid every 10 minutes, and it's supposed to clean out your tract, you know, your gastrointestinal, your inner workings. It's supposed to clean it out really well so that when they when they go in there with their camera, they're able to see the inside of your colon. And a lot a lot of times it's the polyps. They remove polyps if they find any, and they sometimes they call them precancerous polyps. So I was told I'm overdue. I'm 55 and I've never had a colonoscopy. They say I'm overdue for one, and so in my family, I guess people do get polyps. So they have to they have to go inside there with a camera while you lay down in a dreamlike state or a sleeping state, and so yeah, that's going to be happening on Thursday. Today is Monday. No, I believe it's Wednesday. Wednesday is when it's going to happen. The 15th. Today is the 13th. Yeah. 14th is Tuesday. Wednesday is the 15th. So the 15th, I'm supposed to go in there at 11 a.m. They're supposed to prep me, get me all ready, put me in a gown, and then fill me up with gas and stick a camera in there and look for uh, anything out of the ordinary. So that's what I'm kind of preparing myself for. There's a bit of anxiety there because I want to make sure, because they have to do it all over again if you don't do it correctly. And they recommend you do have colonoscopies because people get colon cancer, which is very bad. It can really mess you up. And so, yeah, getting my colonoscopy on the 15th, and it's going to be like a day thing. You have to have somebody drive you home because you're still going to be uh, sedated. You're going to be a little groggy, I guess. So, yes. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I really thought that I'd be looking forward to a cruise or a trip to Universal Studios, but instead I'm looking forward to a colonoscopy. And so then I'll be able to eat regularly after all that's done, after you've cleaned out. I think that should be an inpatient. That would take away a lot of the anxiety, take away all the possibility of messing up, because you're not supposed to drink any fluids. You're not supposed to drink anything with a red dye. You're only supposed to drink things with yellow dye or lighter colored dye, because it messes with their ability to see the inner workings. So I guess that's too much information. But I said all that to say have your colonoscopies so that they can detect any cancer, because you don't want colon cancer. You want to have them catch it in time. It's all fun and games until there's blood coming out, until there's abdominal pain. I can hear crickets already. I guess crickets are making their noise all day long, but at night is when it's quieter, so you can actually hear the crickets. Around here, there's fireflies, fireflies, lightning bugs. Every once in a while, I'll see a lightning bug. I remember sitting on the back porch when I was a kid, and we had a wooded area in our beyond our backyard, and it would get dark, and we would start watching all these fireflies. There were a lot more fireflies back in the 70s than there are now, because this is becoming more of a city, more rural, more urban. So there's probably, and also it's brighter because of all the light pollution. So that's probably why we don't see many fireflies, because it's brighter with all the street lights and house lights and all that light pollution. Because when you're in the city, you only see the brightest stars when you look up. I see planets also. I saw Venus. I used to get up at 7 a.m. No, 6 a.m. because I had to be at work at 7 a.m. or 0700. I had to be there at work at 0700, and and I could always look up and see the planet Venus with my naked eye. And also the phases of the moon are always nice to watch. So I guess this is another uneventful live stream. I'm gonna have to stick to earlier in the day. Early in the day is when I get more attendees. So we are 19 minutes in. So yeah, 4 o'clock, or I think if I can make it 3 a.m. or no 3 p.m. 13, 13, 1500, 1500 Eastern Standard Time. Yes, 1500 Eastern Standard Time. It's probably when I'll start doing my after afternoon show. And it seems like 11 o'clock is a good time to do my morning show. It's not quite noon yet at 11 o'clock. But I think right around now, everyone's at work. That's probably what's happening. But for some reason, I feel compelled to do it at 4 o'clock because there have been times when people have joined me at 4 o'clock. So 20 minutes in. This is weird. Don't know why there are gnats in November. I was complaining about that earlier. Yesterday there were gnats just flying around, landing on my trousers. That's what's different. We say pants. In the UK, they're called trousers. We say pants. They call them trousers, but in the UK, pants are your undies. Pants are your undies. So we walk around in our pants. They walk around in their trousers. And don't ask to pet someone's. Don't ask, can I pet your dog? Because pet to us is like a cat or a dog or a bird. You know, your pet. Or can I pet your dog? Here in the US means that you're just going to lightly stroke, you know. But in the UK, pet means something else. I guess I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray that I get some people to join me for chats. I guess one of my dreams is to open a comedy club. I would like to open a comedy club. There's a building I have my eye on that is in downtown Dallas, Georgia. There is a building, kind of reminds me of Ghostbusters, and I'd like to find out who is renting that building. It's a strip mall, and there's one building in that strip mall, and it would be cool to make it a comedy club. What I can do in the mornings is audition comedians, audition everybody who is interested in being a comedian, and then I can feature that comedian or those comedians, get all the permits and get it all lined up, and then pay a cover charge, and then have it a comedy club. I'd have to get a bank to help me, or have some people fund, get some investors together. But the thing about investors is you have to pay them back. But I think a comedy club would be nice, because there was a club that I went to. It was called The Rage, and they had I think Wednesday night was a gothic night, and there were nights that were dedicated to certain themes, and people would just line up and pay their cover charge, and it was a dance club. But I think a comedy club. Hello, Speaker Man. Welcome. I was hoping someone would join on. At least we've got Speaker Man. So, Speaker Man, if I read right, you're in Ukraine. And I think another guy was from the UK earlier today. So I'm trying to keep track of the geography, because I think it's kind of cool. I said some people who watch my videos, they're in the UK and in Canada and in Australia. So It's just nice to know, because I'm here in the U.S. and it makes the world smaller when people can go online and interact. It looks like we got two people now. We're starting to pick up, and it's only 25 minutes. We're only 25 minutes in. I brought my harmonica. I brought my flute earlier. And it's funny when I play the flute, somebody always asks, "Are there any other instruments you play?" It's like instead of just saying, "Wow, he's a good flute player." So it always makes me laugh when they, "Do you play any other instruments?" And I say, "Why, yes, I play the harmonica." Oh, hey, X Trigger, welcome. I was hoping you'd join. It's been a little while, but I'm glad. I'm glad to see you all. We're joining again. I'm here at my table that's covered with bird seeds. I notice in the wintertime the birds look for more seeds. Squirrels come out also. So now we are a lovely overcast, sitting at our. I'm going to do that if I can remember how it goes. I was just playing it. Somebody's alarm just went off. My harmonica playing set off someone's alarm. And then there's that tune that always comes out when Darth Vader comes onto the scene. I'm trying to remember how that went. Da, 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 da. Oh, then there's that Star Trek. Da, 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 da. That was on Cable Guy. I remember when Jim Carrey was fighting Matthew Broderick. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. What was that? Red Knight's going down. The Blue Knight rules. Down, down, down. Red Knight's going down. I think I got that right. He wasn't too happy with the Red Knight. Laugh it up, fuzzball. And then there's the Harry Potter theme. But let me see if I can remember how that goes. Da 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 da. Slytherin, Gryffindor. That's what I could do to get my practice in. We'll do movie themes. Superman. Kneel before Zod. That was my favorite one, was Superman 2. You will be my servant forever until you break my hand. I think there was Superman 1, 2, and 3. Superman, the movie, told the story of Superman, how his planet blew up, and he was put in some kind of a spiky object and then hurled towards Earth. Now there's a more modern version of Superman. Batman versus Superman. I saw a clip of Batman versus Superman, and you'd think Superman would have melted his gun. Okay, Batman had a gun that shot kryptonite gas, and he got him the first time with the kryptonite gas, and you'd think Superman would just use his heat vision to melt Batman's gun so he couldn't shoot him anymore with the kryptonite gas. But it was twice. Batman got Superman twice with the kryptonite gas. And I thought, man, the first thing I would do is just destroy that gun. If he shot me with kryptonite gas and then it wore off, I would just use my heat ray vision to just melt that stupid gun, you know, because he got the upper hand, you know. And then he had like a lance or some kind of a pole that had kryptonite on it, and he almost killed Superman. And it's like, I think because Superman's too friendly, I don't know. I've always been a fan of Superman. This Superman is nothing of the kind. He actually cares for these people. I grew up, yeah, that was in the 70s. Zod and two of his inmates were locked in a crystal, and then a nuclear explosion went off and freed them from the crystal. And then they all started trying to beat up Superman. They all ganged up on Superman. If you ever can watch Superman 2, please do. It's a good show. If you are a Superman fan, back in the 70s, Superman was the biggest superhero. Now Batman seems to be everywhere. Batman and the Joker. Batman had a lot of other enemies. He had the Penguin. He had Two-Face. He had the Riddler. But it seems like Joker seems to be the one that everybody likes. And Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was friend. Gotta go. Okay, well, thank you for joining. I'm starting to understand acronyms now. And then there was Batman. I heard that the Munsters were really popular. That black and white show called The Munsters was really popular. And then Batman started, and Batman was more popular than. And I remember watching Batman and Robin would go against the Penguin, the Joker, the Riddler, and Egghead. Vincent Price played Egghead. I remember all those shows when I was young. Back before they had flat screen televisions. Our televisions were like a box. And they had a picture tube and everything. When I was really young, all you had to do was plug the TV into the wall, and it would work kind of like a radio. All you had to do was adjust the antennas, and then cable TV came out. You had to pay like $7 a month, so you could watch cable TV. I think the very first cable show was HBO, home box office. We used to watch movies uh, on home box office without any commercials. You could watch a whole movie, no commercials, because you were paying for it. Now you pay for television and you get commercials. Commercials, they pay the station to run the commercials, and that's how they got sponsored. But now it's like you can't get away with commercial. You can't get away from commercials. It's like you're paying to watch TV and you have to watch commercials. That adds insult to injury. Back in my day, it was always fun to watch HBO and Cinemax and the movie channel. You can watch Cheech and Chong. You can watch Heavy Metal. You can watch all those shows, and there were no commercials. Now they're getting more creative with commercials. It seems Super Bowl is the best time to watch commercials. They have the best commercials on when the Super Bowl is in when Super Bowl is being played. Also, there's few people in church. You can always tell when it's Super Bowl Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday when few people show up to church, because they're all watching the Super Bowl, eating their nachos and drinking their beer, and ordering their cold pizza, or it's cold by the time you get it. Sounds like somebody fell off their bicycle. Sounds like somebody fell off a ladder. All these strange noises I hear. I always like hearing the bagpipes also. Bagpipes are pretty cool. And a banjo, a good old fashioned banjo. That's what I like to bring to the table. Find audition musicians. The violin too. I like hearing the violin, the banjo. There are those who play with spoons too. They put spoons back to back, and they slap them on their thigh, make a little chatter sound. Wow, there's a lot of crash bang going on across the street. Somebody must be moving. It's getting dark. It is after 5. It was really dark a couple of days ago. We had a really thick cloud cover. I was amazed how fast it got dark, how fast it got dark. It got dark fast. I guess we'll have to share some more jokes. I'd like people to leave jokes in the comments. That way, when they watch a movie or when they watch these, they can go through all the comments. There'll be jokes all lined up. We can call this the joke bank. People can withdraw jokes and and submit jokes. Submit them to our approval. So things are happening. I guess Nevada. How are things going in Nevada? I haven't heard much on the news about Nevada, so things must be going pretty well. Sometimes if you really want to go somewhere, if you really want to know what's going on, be there. Don't rely on the news. The news is only going to bring you bad news. I guess we're down to 0 again. We went from 2 to 0. Today's a rather noisy day. So, X Trigger popped in just to say hello. It looks like we have 0 likes and 0 attendees. I hope Arthur's okay. Arthur, so we heard from Speaker Man, or Big Speaker Man. T. Harrison should be popping in, or in the future. It got awfully quiet all of a sudden. So we're 41 minutes in. I guess everyone's gone. My bum is all alone. My bum is all alone. My bum is all alone. My bum is on the phone. My bum is on the cheese. So I guess I'm here with the crickets. I'm here with the crickets and the sirens. So I guess people left without saying goodbye. Earlier someone said goodbye. Never say goodbye. Never say goodbye. 43 minutes. We have 0 likes. I do get some comments saying, "I'm sorry I missed you," or "Dang I missed you," or I don't have that good a retention. I'm wondering if I'm talking too much. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm talking way too much, and I need to ask more questions, because it's almost like I'm ignoring the people who are chatting with me. I try to answer the chats as they come up, and then when the chats go away, I feel like I have to fill in the time. I have to keep things rolling by talking more. So what I try to do is answer the chats, and after I've answered the chats, it's almost like I stop talking to them. So I'm trying to get this figured out, the best way to conduct myself. Somebody's drilling. Shaggy's behaving himself. He's waiting for Mom to come back. So anyway, I think I can do this until my battery runs out. I will see how long how long I sit here. We are, it's 5:11, 17:11 military time. 17:11. And I guess I could play some more harmonica. I've already done my show and tell. I've already talked about, maybe it's the content. Maybe it's the subject matter. When I reminisce about my, when I was a kid, maybe I need to ask more questions of those who are joining. Because people like to talk about themselves. I'm an example of that. And when you get someone to talk about themselves, they like you more. Is that gasoline I smell? That is weird. I don't know why I smell the pungent smell of gasoline. Probably because the wind has shifted. Somebody probably accidentally spilled some gasoline. That is weird. Suddenly I smell gasoline. Very strong. The very strong smell. That's pretty overpowering. Nobody light a match. Hopefully the wind will pick up, and it's not breezy today. So I guess I'll play my harmonica for whoever's watching. Let me know if I'm doing okay. I I notice people pop in for a short time, and then they leave. The Lone Ranger song. William Tell's Overture. We're off to see the wizard. Because. Because of the wonderful things he does. No one left the light. I'm feeling kind of sad. da, da, da. So we're down to 0. It looks like everyone's left. Follow the Olympic Road. Follow the Olympic Road. Follow the Olympic. Follow the Olympic Road. Follow the Olympic Road. We represent the Lollipop Guild. The Lollipop Guild. The Lollipop Guild. We represent the Lollipop Guild. And we wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land. I'm Simon and Simon, and I represent the Lollipop Guild. We represent the Lollipop Guild. Shaggy whimpers like that when he wants to be let back in. I guess it's time to end this show. 55 minutes in, and hopefully I can retain people longer. I'm sorry I couldn't be more entertaining. So we'll say goodbye for now.